Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, a big round of applause for Dellsons. I think this is the right time they have organized this seminar. This is exactly the right time, looking at the situation back home in Pakistan, what's going on. And thank you, Mr. Osama Al Rahma, for those valuable inputs. And thank you, His Excellency, Mr. Faisal Tirmizi Saab, for your inputs. Our topic for today is optimizing the benefits of the legal remittances, Pakistan. What we see, what we all are aware of, that currently uh, Pakistan government from the last 5 to 10 years, they have taken a lot of initiatives to increase the inflow of the remittances. And as Mr. Osama said in his speech earlier, that it is the backbone of Pakistan or for any developing nation, the inflow of the remittances. But what he saw, like from 31 billion, it has come down to around 27 billion, which is a kind of an alarming situation after all the initiatives which the government has taken. What is the reason? We all know that when you look at the interbank rates, those interbank rates and the grey market rates, there is a difference of around 15 to 20 rupees. So whatever your services could be, whether you are in digital era, whether blink of an eye, the money is there in a flash into your account, then this kind of difference in the exchange rate will definitely be a challenge for any government or for any institution. So first of all, I always believe that the government will always put on their efforts. The government always make policies. But then end of the day, it is on the country, it is on the population that they should also accept or realize their responsibilities. We all say, like, like if you ask any national that, do you love your country? The statement will be yes, 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 we all love our country. But what exactly are you doing for it? Are you keeping your country clean? No. Are you paying your taxes? Maybe sometimes yes, sometimes no. Are you sending money through the legal channels? Then they will say no, yes, no, yes. So this is also the duty for any national, not only for Pakistani national, for any national, that if you love your country, then you should always send money through the legal channels. And then only you can expect the government to invest in you. So coming back onto the consumer's responsibility, sometimes we also know that this is, maybe people are not aware about that. So I will start with His Excellency. Like the Pakistan government has always put on a lot of efforts on social advertising campaigns. Not from now, like we used to see, like 20 years back. And I used to also watch this PTV when it used to come in the 80s. जब मैं छोटा बच्चा था, मेरे पास जुराबे थी. That kind of a campaign on the population control we have seen. We have seen the campaigns on the polio eradication also, which has helped the government to quite an extent. Girl child education. So what is your opinion? Is it the need of the hour that Pakistan government should allocate a decent budget to run media campaigns on television, print media, social media, radio, to educate to the people the value they bring to the economy when they remit money through legal challenges? And what should they also inculcate? The fear factor and the consequences to the general public they can face when they send money through the illegal channels. So what's your opinion on this, sir?
Thank you, Maad. You have pointed out at a very important issue that the government has to take. The government of Pakistan has a campaign to ensure legal remittances program. It is basically undertaken both by the government as well as the State Bank of Pakistan. The government of Pakistan has already started two great initiatives, Roshan Digital Accounts and the Soni Dharti program. that if you remit money through legal channels, people can redeem those points in the renewal of their identity card, their passports, in settlement of their taxes, customs duty. But I strongly believe it has to be further enhanced. I agree with you because this is something fundamental. Uh, this today's initiative undertaken by Delson along with the Embassy of Pakistan is a step in that direction, that we have to make aware the general public that if you send money through, probably you will get some benefits, but number one, your transaction is not secure. Number two, you cannot get any legal benefits. For instance, if you're redeeming through Sony Dharti program or through Roshan digital accounts, you can also get benefits in travel on PIA. You can get extra baggage. These are the incentives the government of Pakistan is doing. But I agree with you, we have to do much more to spread the word forward. And this is one such initiative. We have to run a campaign on the social media because today's world, frankly, we are basically from the world where we used to have newspapers and TV channels, but our children get their information through social media. So social media is the channel of future, and that's what we have to focus on.
Thank you, sir. Thanks for talking about those two initiatives, the Roshan Digital and the SON SDRP, the program. We'll also talk about later on this with the iLink gentleman. Now, coming to you, Mr. Osama Al Rahma, I know, I think the people in the hall who all are sitting will agree that you are an institution in yourself when it comes to remittances. Not only in UAE, it's all over the world. There is nobody who's in this industry who doesn't know you. It is our pleasure that you are on this platform. Thank you very much, sir, for that. So, looking at the scenario, the current economic issues which the country is facing, in 2022, we saw Pakistan experience a trifecta of challenges, a political unrest, an economic crisis, destructive floods, which gripped the nation. Economically, the country is grappling with severe inflation, a declining currency, and critically low foreign reserve, posing significant concerns for its financial stability. What are your suggestions as a veteran in the foreign exchange and remittance industry, how they can overcome this crisis, especially on the inflation and the declining currency, and how they can increase their forex reserve? Please.
Thank you very much. I believe His Excellency already have touched also on some, and in your introductory you have touched a little bit on the same issue. Those challenges, we need to address it from the point of view that this is a temporary, a challenge which we can overcome by mainly, I call it the collaboration. It is not one party responsibility. We cannot just hold the Pakistani government to do all the solutions, because even as a government, they have their own limitations, And this is why you brought a very critical, important point, which is the awareness. Awareness, and I have touched on that one in my introductory, is about the feeling of responsibility. Many people, sometimes they don't understand the consequences of such, initiative when they go to the informal channels. The consequences are really very tough. It's not only impacting the overall economy, but it is also might engage this guy into financial crimes which he never seen or never felt about. And because when we say that formal channels means the level of a transparency, disclosure, understanding, because this is which mainly create a healthy environment, both for the economies and for the financial system, and later on for the stability of the country. Understanding those aspects, sometimes it is difficult for the normal publics. So the language and His Excellency mentioned about the social media. The language which we can bring to the people has a lot to do with triggering their mindsets and making it, to the level which we are expecting. I believe we need a little bit more creative approach, and it is not the time maybe we go into such details. But the main issue which I believe is the collaboration between different stakeholders in addressing such situation. The remitting party, the people who are sending the remitters, the receiving party as well, and then the government's initiatives toward, and I been in touch yesterday with one of the seniors in one of Pakistani banks. He told me the government was so tough through the law enforcement to cut all those channels and make sure that there is a real penalty toward those receiving ones. This is one it might be one solution to send a real messages to those, but this is not enough. We need the initiative to be self-motivated from the people themselves. We need the person who is living here, the Pakistani remitter who lives here, believes that it is a time he should support his own nation, and he support this one by maybe sacrificing through few rupees. But this is for the future of his family, for the future of his country, for the sustainability of the economy of his country. That kind of importance and the level of my small action, how this can contribute to the bigger picture, I believe this is something very much important, a message which is for us. It is not only the awareness or the campaigns by the government, but the awareness and the campaigns by the exchange houses, by the remitting banks from here, among their own clients and, customers.
Thank you. So, according to you, we should have a good coordination between all the stakeholders, and also the law enforcement should be quite strict on those illegal channels. And coming here in UAE.
One issue,
Yeah.
the real example, a few years ago, there was a delay in the rebate. You might be aware of that.
Yes.
When I was the FERG as a vice chairman, we took initiative. Members from the board of FERG, we went all the way to State Bank of Pakistan in Karachi. We had officials. This is how we know that the Pakistani government looking to those issues in a very serious matter. A senior top official from the Ministry of Finance flew all the way from Islamabad. We came there. We had a meeting at the State Bank of Pakistan. We addressed the issue that we have now because of the delay in the rebate. Exchange houses might, not continue offering the free of charge remittances, and that they have addressed that one immediately, and everybody has benefited. So it was also an initiative from us. We didn't say we cannot do anything. We reached them and we conveyed the message to them because we feel the responsibility to sustain such initiative.
Yeah, I think all of you are aware about this, what Mr. Osama has just said, for His Excellency also. The challenges which, when we are talking about legal channels, that what as an exchange house or banks we face here in UAE, that the settlement which we used to get from Pakistani banks, like we don't charge any fee, and then they will settle this amount to us after, used to settle it 6 months, 8 months, they used to take it. And then when at the time of settlement, what used to happen, then we used to have the forex, foreign exchange losses. So it's like on one side you are putting the water inside and the other tap is taking it out. So it was quite a shocking and surprising scenario for us. Mr. Osama, he took the initiative. The delegation went to and met the Pakistani government, the Ministry of Finance in Pakistan, and things have improved after that a lot. But still, I think there is a lot of to be done, because it's like 1 month or 45 days, which we want to be within a week, or within within the next 24 to 48 hours, the settlement. Because we don't want any, because everybody is into business end of the day, so they don't want any losses. Like if there is a delay in the settlement of the rebate. That was an initiative which was taken by Foreign Exchange and Remittance Group in UAE under the leadership of Mr. Osama when he was the vice chairman. Now, we all know about the brick model. We all know like the branches, the blue collar. Now the scenario, the dynamics are changing. We are moving towards the click side also. So in our panel, we have Mr. Zamir Punjabi, who is a vice president, payments and remittances for Mashreq Bank. Zamir, you have been associated with the remittance industry for the last 20 years, if I remember it well. How have you seen the digital remittance acceptance for the last few years? The scenarios are changing, yes, but there's a lot of work which still needs to be done. And how is the consumer acceptance? How are they responding about this digital remittance when it comes to Pakistan? Do you think is there still a gap where customers tend not to use legal and digital means of remittances? What's your views?
Thank you very much, Ahmad. Assalamu alaikum. Good morning, everyone. First of all, it's a bit of a challenge now after speaking, giving my views after His Excellency Mr. Faisal and Mr. Osama. So it's a challenge in itself. So let me try to give my point as possible as. Thank you. So talking about the digital remittances, Mad, I remember say 15, 20 years back. So there was no concept of digital remittance or online remittances in place. The only option for the remitter, for the consumer, was to visit the branches, spend time on the counter of an exchange house or a bank, put a lot of efforts in kind of getting the documentation, KYC done, and then send money across, whether it is to Pakistan or any other country. At the same time, the speed of transfer was, even if the money is received within 3 to 4 days, that was considered as, okay, that's a good speed. But now things have changed in the last few years, especially I can see in the last 5 to 8 years, things have changed, and things have changed drastically. Even for us, giving an example, like now the customers have an options to remit money sitting at the comfort of their homes, sitting at the comfort of their office, without even leaving, within a few clicks, the money can be remitted. So this is the kind of speed now, the options which the consumers have. And at the same time, it's not only true about remittances. Remittance is part of the digitization. It's also true about all the other day-to-day activities that we perform, even if it's buying your day-to-day groceries, your online shopping, your education. So all these things have gone online. So why should remittance be left aside, left behind? So remittance is, of course, also going online. And as a part of this whole digitization, as a part of this whole development, even Mashreq has been a part of this digitization also. In terms of like even instead of opening up new branches and expanding our physical presence, now we are concentrating more on the digital assets in digitization of our journeys, not only specific to the remittances, but even other products, whether it is an account opening, whether it's cards, whether it's loans, all the kind of products within the bank. And the customers have well accepted this kind of offer, this proposition. And because of that, even we are closing down the branches. Actually, we have considerably closed down the branches, and all these functions, all these features are given to the customers on the mobile app. And at the same time, the acceptance, what you talked about, I can see the acceptance in the last 5 years, wherein specifically talking about the remittances. 5 years back, almost 50% of our remittances were happening from online channels, and 50% were happening through branches. But right now we are at 99%, 99+%, which is happening through the digital channels. Just less than 1% of the remittances happen through the branches. So that's the change that we have
Very
seen
good.
in the last 5
Excellent.
years. Talking specifically about Pakistan, so Pakistan, when we started our home remittance service about 6 years back, so Pakistan actually was the first country, the first corridor where we initiated our remittance services. After that, we started other corridors, which includes India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, Nepal, and all. Now we are active in about 40 countries. But Pakistan was the first country where we started our collaboration with Faisal Bank. And after that, there has been no looking back. So yes, we have been growing since last 6 years, and everything is digital. And about digitization to Pakistan, it's not only about cross-border. I was just going through some statistics, some kind of growth that the Pakistan has seen in the last few years. I could see, even if we talk about the digital transaction, it has been growing since last 3 years. It has tripled actually from 200 million to 600 million transactions. The RAS transactions in just this year, it has grown from 10 million to 30 million transactions for RAS internally. As His Excellency was mentioning about the Russian digital account, the Russian digital account in the last 3 years, it has 600,000 Russian digital accounts have been opened. So the infrastructure is available there. It's a strong infrastructure. From the sending side, as also mentioned by Mr. Osama, the services are available, the exchanges are available, the branches are available, the remittance, digital remittance services are available. We're offering good rates to the customers. But still, despite all this, what I mentioned, still there's a gap. So still, we are not able to see the kind of growth that should have been there. Still, as you mentioned, there has been a decline in the remittance services. So that's a big matter of concern. Despite all these things, features available, all the services available, the infrastructure available, the willingness available. So why is the transactions not growing through the legal channels? So as already been touched, yeah, because of the parallel market which is running, which is not a kind of regulated market. So that's something that we need to address. And sure, coming few years would be a different kind of a pattern that we would see. Thank you.
Thank you, Zamir. Good to know about the percentage which you told us. It's around around 99% your remittances are going through the click model, and only 1% it's through the brick. And we also know, like when you look at the Pakistan community, it's quite a tech-savvy community. And whenever I look for promotion, the influencers on TikTok or some, like Instagram, mostly it's the Pakistani influencers you will find. So that means they have a lot of followers from Pakistan, and they are all on smartphones with the full data. So I think we are going in the right direction when it comes to the digital remittances. Thank you, Zamir. I'll come back again to you.